What's good, everyone? I am pretty excited to show you some new stuff. I've been working on my game, and at this rate I'm not sure I'll ever get a game out, but it's been so much fun working on this stuff. So check this out. I made a Verlet, I think that's how you pronounce it, Verlet particles, and I was able to link a bunch of particles together using Verlet physics and chain them in this kind of default rope thing. So check it out. I was able to link them together and they pull on each other, and there's a little bit of there's a particle gravity, and there's like a very crude collision. It's not actually colliding against the floor, it's just I'm making it bounce up when it gets past a certain Z value, where Z is up and down in Game Studio. But yeah, I've been having so much fun implementing this, and you can see all the different particles. They're not actually physically objects, they're just positions, and I just draw sprites at the positions. So now if I pull on them, they all follow through. The top one's a little funky because it's kind of I was working on a constraint thing at the time. Yeah, check this out. It uses Verlet, so an old position and then a now position. I did a lot of research, a lot of trial and error just to get one particle chained to another, and when I finally got it working, I just chained a bunch of them, and they all pull each other and bounce, and I did some collision response stuff. And of course, as I go on, I wanted to make this cloth, see if I could get cloth working. So I spent maybe a couple of days working on my off time, trying to implement a cloth system. And check it out. So to make a cloth, you have to get the particles to constrain to each other. And you don't want each particle to be an object that's handled by the world. You pretty much just want it to be a position. And if you had 1,000 objects, because your cloth your cloth has 1,000 particles, it's not good. So because of these positions, I use an array, and you can see I was just racking my head around the idea of registering each particle into an array, activating them, which particle which owner the particle is, and registering each triangle of the mesh into another huge array, and then finding which particle controls which vertex and which triangle owns each vertex. It was just so much. I spent maybe a couple of days working on this, yeah, I finally got somewhere. I was able to find the mesh, and I was able to begin constraining particles together, and I had a little bit of a goof, and this is currently what it looks like if you only have the part out of every triangle. If only 2 particles or one set of constraints are satisfied, it kind of just makes everything mushy. But this is the beginning of it beginning to work. And if a particle isn't pinned, it will be governed by the forces. And this was the first step. I was able to start pinning them and getting them to constraint. And when I finally got them to work and link out all the particles together, I got cloth. Check it out. Now this vertex is pinned, this one is pinned, and this one is pinned, and the rest are governed by the Verlet particles and the network of the constraints. So this is like Flintstone's Wilma skirt, I think. And these are some particles that are I was just testing out the mesh stuff. And check this out. I can move this collider, and if the collider goes into a certain distance of a particle, it will start pushing it away. So if I move this collider next to a mesh, I can get it to move. I'm really, really proud of this. This took a lot of research, a lot of trial and error. And you can see that this collider has a certain radius, and if the particle is within that radius, it'll push it away. And with Verlet, it's pretty good with adding constraints and pushing them. And this was a blast. And this mesh, I just had fun making it. I just did a quick little texture swap, unwrap, added a little cool texture, and yeah, it works with holes. This hole here, these vertices, these vertexes aren't linked to each other, so it actually acts like a hole. It's not just a a texture thing. It physically is a hole. If I press space, oh wait, no, this might work. If I go to this Wilma skirt or hair, it works the same way. Just the radius pushes everything out. The particles don't have particle-to-particle collision, but I'm fine with that for what I wanted. Yeah, see, this vertex is pinned. It's not moving. I pretty much made my own physics engine. And that piece fell on the floor. It's the same model actually. And that's what I'm pretty proud of. You can see that triangle on the floor is actually part of that mesh, and I can move it around because it's a collider and it's pushing it around. And I'm just like pretty amazed I was able to do this, but it was all because of a lot of research in the internet, Wikipedia, other game developers. They showed me how to do simple Verlet integration, and I was able to do it. Now this is the cloth physics in my game framework with all the shading and stuff. And yeah, I was able to add my framework's materials and just a little bit of tweaking because of the level scale was a little different, but I was able to get it working. Here's the same cloth. I can push it around. This is my pathfinding system, just a small world just to test everything. And yeah, I love being able to work on this framework. It's a blast. The cloth is receiving and casting shadows on the world and itself. And this is a lot of fun. See if I could push. And these lines are each hitting a particle, and it actually gets to some resting point, you know. See, here's that rest. And let me show you some debug information. Verlet debug display. Yeah, here's some debug stuff. This helped me a lot. I was able to enumerate through every single triangle, and you can see that this is triangle 1 moving to triangle 2, triangle 3, and I can get the vertices of each of the corner triangles. And but each of those corner triangles have a particle, so the particle has to go through and look which is this neighbor and then pull each other to it. Currently I don't have a system where I can change the lengths between each particle, but I'm okay with that. for my needs. Each tries to keep a certain distance, and I have to really fix certain meshes to make them more cloth friendly, like a little like hexagon. But yeah, this is the system. This is what's going on. I'm kind of excited to add this to my like character stuff. I wanted to add little cloth bits and hair and like dangly stuff, dangly robes or whatever off their weapons and stuff. So I'm pretty excited. And let me see if I could add some wind. I don't know how this is gonna work. Yeah, I added some wind. There it is. All the particles get a wind added to it, and I can still push. And it's so cool because the things wrinkle and like a real cloth. I'm pretty proud of this. It was very simple. The concept, because the concept was just so simple, all I had to do was worry about integrating into what I could do with Game Studio. Yeah. So that's the X wind. Let me see if I could make it really like more. So that's the X wind. And you can see there's wrinkles, right? Just like a regular cloth. How cool is that? Yeah, let me see if I can make it go the other way. And this is all on the CPU, so it's very CPU intensive. The less cloth I have, the better. But yeah, I'm pretty excited with this. And I'm gonna have one level where I could have all my stuff working, so I can just start making games. So cool. Look at this. Like, check this out. This is so cool. I never hard programmed this. This is all the particles interacting with each other, pulling each other. It's amazing. This is so cool. I'm so proud of this. Alright, so that's everything. Thanks for sticking around.